In this tutorial, we're going to look at setting up a drum part and formatting it in readiness to enter data through a Midi keyboard or by clicking in. Let's start off with creating a drum part. I hit I, and then I'm going to look in my rhythm section, and I've selected drum set here. I'm going to add that to the score. And there it is. We are now going to format the drum set part for the instruments of the drum set that we require. Sibelius comes with a large number of existing sounds that some of them we don't really need. To do so, I'm going to highlight the bar, go up to Home, Instruments, and then Edit Instruments here on this small little arrow. Because we've selected a staff already, it will come up with the instrument we're after. We're going to go to Edit Instrument. This brings up a dialog box where we can edit a number of parameters. We're going to go to Edit Staff Type, and this brings up all the range of different drum sounds that we do need or don't need. As we're just creating a simple rock beat in this example, I'm going to delete a lot of things I don't actually really need. To delete notes, simply click on them. They will highlight and then delete them. I'll go through this process quickly and get rid of the instruments I don't really want. Really all I'm after is a bass drum, snare drum, hi-hats, ride cymbal, and maybe a tambourine part. Okay, I've gone through and deleted a bunch of drum sounds I don't really require here. Now we have to link up our note heads with our Midi playback and correct sound in the correct position on the staff. Sounds a bit tricky, but here's how we do it. Let's look at the bass drum. In this position, the F space on the treble clef stave is where the bass drum would sit. In the description below, I have put a link to a musescore.org page which has the general Midi percussion map, which you will find very useful. It shows the standard notes on your Midi keyboard to play so that you can enter notation into the staff. So if we look at that, we'll see that the bass drum sound is C1. So we're going to use this input using pitch C1. This will mean that when I play C1 on my keyboard, it will play the bass drum into this position. Now to choose a sound, I have Note Performer installed, but if you don't have that, you'll have a smaller selection, but nonetheless, I'm going to find drum set rock. I'm going to look for a drum sound. I've got a lot of kick drum sounds. I'm just going to pick one, this one here, and then I've done my sound. Now let's look at another thing. For example, let's go to the cross stick on the snare drum. So the cross stick, if we look at our percussion MIDI map, the cross stick is side stick, which is C#1 on our MIDI keyboard. So let's go and allocate that. So we go C#1, and we can choose a note head through this here. You can choose whatever note head you think. I like this particular one for a cross stick, but you could choose any other symbol if you wished. Choose the sound, again go into here, I'm going to go to rock, I'm going to go to drum, now I'm going to go to snare drum, and I'm going to scroll down until I find a cross stick, which is what I'm after, and that will give me the right sound. So what this means is when I play C# on my MIDI keyboard, it will enter into the staff in the correct position with the right note head, this particular sound. Makes things so much faster. One final one, let's have a look at a ride cymbal sound. For cymbals, we're going to use the X note head. That's pretty standard. The position of the ride cymbal can vary. If you want to move these up and down, so you want to have the ride cymbal in a different position, let's say we want it up on top, we just hit up and it will replace it in a different position. I like it here. So again, I'm going to select, look at my MIDI map, where's the ride cymbal? Ride cymbal is E flat 2, so I go back E flat 2, choose my sound, I'm going to go to rock, this time I'm going to go to metal because it's a cymbal, and I'm going to go to cymbal, ride cymbal, here we are, and that will pick it. Now we're set. All I need to do now is play back with my MIDI keyboard, and these notes should go directly into the staff with the correct note head. As I push C on the MIDI keyboard, it comes up with the right note head. As I push E flat 2, it comes up with the correct note head. As a quick example, I'll enter the ride cymbal and the snare drum into voice 1 in eighth notes. And then in voice 2, I shall put the bass drum hit R for repeat, voila.